Peace and blessings. This is Joshua Benavides, founder of the Center for Profound Wellbeing and creator and founder of the Transformative Coach Institute. I had a call today with a client that reminded me of something that is so incredibly important to be aware of for any of you that are in the process of healing, transformation, awakening. There is something interesting that happens when we're operating from a sense of lack. And that is that when we're operating from a sense of lack, we tend to assume that the answer, the resolution, the relief to that lack is to add something. The lack is seeking something to fill that void. And so we assume that perhaps it's a missing piece of information, some missing piece of insight, some missing practice in our lives that's going to bring clarity. The thing about this is that when we're operating from this assumption of lack, we overlook the assumption of lack. In other words, we have to first buy into the idea that something is lacking. And if left unquestioned, it sets up a whole journey. You get on a train on a destination that actually goes nowhere. In other words, when we make a false assumption, anything that follows a false assumption is also false. So one of the things that we explore in the way that we teach transformative coaching here at the Transformative Coach Institute is that all healing, all transformation and awakening is not an additive process. We are not adding to some kind of void or some kind of lack. But we come to recognize that the lack itself is something that we have added via our own thinking and superimposed upon this moment, upon reality, upon awareness. What's fascinating is when we flip this around, and instead of adding, we begin to subtract. We begin to release. We begin to let go. We begin to surrender. We begin to step back from all the attachments, all the aversions and reactions that we're having to our own thinking. We forgive. We release. We subtract. What we begin to find is that there's an uncovering that is happening, and that there is a deep feeling of well-being, a freedom that begins to reveal itself, a clarity that goes beyond description, and suddenly we find that we become vehicles or candidates for insight, for something new to happen and occur in our experience, that it's not coming from the assumption of lack or inadequacy or anything else that happens to be something we have simply added onto the openness and freedom of our present moment experience. So in the healing and transformative and awakening process, it's important to understand that this is not a process of adding to your experience. It's not a process of adding more. You can't end imagination with more imagination. The process is purely subtractive. All expansion is letting go. All awakening is a process of subtraction. And what remains is what has always been here. What some have called your innate well-being, what some have called love, what some have called your true nature. There's many words that describe actually something that is completely ineffable, completely wordless, and non-conceptual, non-verbal. So I share this with you because we can save a lot of time if we're simply aware that there's nothing you need to add, that the whole process itself is subtractive. So, with that, blessings. And if you would like to learn more about transformative coaching, how we teach it and facilitate it here at the Transformative Coach Institute, please visit transformativecoachinstitute.com. And of course, if you would like to learn more about working with a transformative coach, please visit profoundwellbeing.com. All right. Peace and blessings. Create a beautiful day.